Good morning and welcome to another episode of the Gospel Brunch Show. I'm your host, Gospel Lee. I simply am an individual who believes in bringing light to dark places, and I create quality hip hop that your mom would be proud of as the most perfect picture of imperfection. Today is episode 7. We are on episode 7, 7 episodes in. Hopefully, you guys had a wonderful weekend. I know I had a great weekend. I slept a lot. I sleep a lot on the weekends. And so, yeah, because I usually work all night and then sleep during the day. And on Sundays, I work all night, go to church, and then sleep during the day. So I sleep a lot. But it was still a great weekend. Had an awesome, awesome time. So today is Monday. Super, super excited to start another week. That's the thing. I love starting. I don't know. It's so weird now. Now that I'm doing this full time, I really look forward to Mondays because it's like the start of a new week. Not that I didn't look forward to Mondays when I was working at my previous job, but this is really what I want to do. So I look forward to Mondays because it's a whole new week with new opportunities, and it's just great. There's just a feeling about having a new week that's just so electrifying for me. Anyway, and that's the thing. Can we talk about Mondays for a second? Let's talk about Mondays. So a lot of people like hate Mondays. Like, oh, I hate Monday. I hate Monday. I hate Monday. Monday. Oh my God, I just hate Monday. I'm like, why you hate Monday so much? I think a lot of people hate Monday because they don't like going to work. They don't love their job, so they hate Monday because they have to go back to a job that they don't love. And for me, it's not like I hated my job. I really liked it. It was really great, but I don't think I loved it. I wouldn't say that I had a passion for what I was doing. It was awesome because I got to work with great people, and the work was really challenging, but yet not stressful. So I enjoyed all those elements, but I didn't like love it. But I do love what I'm getting to do now. So I look forward to Mondays. So if you hate Monday, or if Monday gets you in a bad mood, like think about maybe why that is. Like take some time to ask yourself why it is. So that's the thing. Yeah. So feel free to do some introspection. Like, why does Monday make me such a crab? Or whatever hostile animal you prefer, and see if you can change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. That's really the thing. Like a lot of people are in school and they don't necessarily like school, but school is, I guess, necessary for you. So change your attitude. Learn as much as you can. Do the best that you can. Because it'll really set you up for success later. Not so much as far as like grades, although grades are important, but just kind of really learning a work ethic to kind of dig in and give yourself to tasks and things that you don't love. That's going to serve you later. So there's that. Yes, moving on. So the thought that I wanted to share with you guys today is from a lady that I admire very, very much. She's one of my favorite people in the entire world. Very, very impactful. She's one of the most influential people to me, personally, that I know. I don't know her, but she's just a very influential person to on my life, I guess, to me. So her name is Joyce Meyer, and she said something once that really made me think and stuck with me. And what she said was, "Do it afraid." And she was just talking about stepping out of your comfort zone and just kind of, a lot of times fear plagues us. And she said, well, just do it afraid. Whatever you're trying to do and you're afraid of doing it, like do it afraid. And that really had a huge impact on me because obviously here I am, doing this thing full time and trying to figure out how it's going to work. There's a lot of fear of the unknown because, what I've known for so long is a steady paycheck and just kind of, whatever, that whole traditional job scene. And there was a lot of fear surrounding stepping out and doing this full time. But I just did it anyway. I did it afraid. And so that's what I wanted to share with you is that quote, that thought, do it afraid. And I think that anything that you're taking on, any undertaking that you're wanting to do, anything that you're trying to do, that you haven't done before, perhaps, I think there's going to be a little fear there. And I think that fear is normal. Like it's normal to have that fear because it's, I think, maybe fear of the unknown or fear, not knowing how it's going to work out. I think that it's normal to have that fear. But where we get into trouble is we let that fear paralyze us from taking action. And that's when fear becomes unhealthy. That's when fear becomes unproductive. But I think that fear is healthy and normal because it helps us feel alive. Like I think that that fear helps us maybe respect the situation that we're trying to approach. That fear helps us not take lightly what we're about to do or what we're about to enter into. The fear kind of reinforces the reality of what we're trying to do, or what we're trying to step into. So if that fear wasn't there, I think that it would be dangerous, because we wouldn't be able to respect the situation as what it is. This is kind of like a loose example, but I was thinking about, lately I've had a lot of dental work done, and what they've done is they've numbed, part of my face. And it's weird because I'll like bite down like on the inside of my cheek and I don't feel any pain, or I'll bite down on my lip and I don't feel any pain. And a lot of times we don't want to feel pain. We don't want to feel fear. Like we aspire to be fearless, or we dream of not feeling any pain or not getting hurt. But that pain and that fear kind of reminds us that we're alive. Like it's almost like a protective kind of mechanism. And what I mean by that with the face example and the numbing example is like, I was more scared biting on my lip and not being able to feel pain than I would have been being able to feel it, because like I could be doing real damage on my lip or my cheek and not even know it. And so it really freaked me out. And so I think that when it comes to fear, it's a little bit similar. It's kind of similar in the fact that a little bit of fear kind of reminds us of the situation. It allows us to proceed with caution. But too much fear prevents us from proceeding at all. So I think that anything that you're going to do when it comes to stepping out of your comfort zone, or doing something that's going to make you better by stepping out of your comfort zone, growing, all of those different things, it requires doing things maybe you haven't done before. And when it comes to doing things that you haven't done before, there's going to be a little bit of fear. But I want to encourage you to do it afraid. Definitely do it afraid. Because you don't want to be in a place where fear is going to cripple you. I mean, that's just as bad as doing something and failing and being like miserable, like just miserably failing. Like, I think it's on the same level. I think it's actually worse to not even do it at all because you were too afraid. Can you imagine? Like, I didn't do this because I was too afraid. Like, what does that even mean? Like, what did you miss out on because you were too afraid? Like, you don't even know how it turned out because you let fear limit you. And that, I just can't get my mind around that. That's just nuts. So yeah, do it afraid. Whatever it is you're doing, whatever you're trying to do as far as step out your comfort zone, whatever the case might be, do it afraid. Yeah. That's what that's what I want to share with you. So when it comes to writing, I wrote actually this morning. I wrote something, and I want to share it with you. So I hope that I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so this is what I wrote. All of it. Want the whole thing, not a part of it. Real enough to taste and swallow it. Vision blueprint, I'ma follow it. Destiny's what I call the gift. Normal's not what they're calling it. Once again, all of it. Want the whole thing, not a part of it. Real enough to taste and swallow it. Vision blueprint, I'ma follow it. Destiny's what I call the gift. Normal's not what they're calling it. And I think these four little lines really just, I think where it was coming from is, I want to look back at the end of my life and say I did everything that I was created to do. I accomplished everything that was in front of me. Everything that I was supposed to do, everything that I was destined to do, I did it. And I don't want to settle for anything else. And I think that a life like that is very rare. I think that we compromise and we play it safe and we, settle. And so I think that after all of our compromising and playing it safe and settling, the end result is a life that's over but didn't fill out all the potential. Like, that's the thing. Like, at the end of my life, I want to use up every bit of potential that I had. And that's where these lines come from, is just from a desire to really pursue and attain everything that was set in front of me. I really want to go after everything. And I don't think that that's normal. I think that the idea of that is normal, but the execution and the actual practical pursuit of that, it's not very normal, because it requires us to sacrifice. It requires us to step out of our comfort zone. It requires us to take big calculated risks that people don't understand. People will criticize, but then, as time goes back, they'll look back and, maybe feel a different way. And so I think that, like I said, it's a aspiration that I think we maybe all identify with, but we don't all attain or achieve. Because I think that it's easier. It's definitely easier to play it safe. It's definitely easier to stay inside your comfort zone. But the reward for stepping out of inside your comfort zone, the reward of taking a well-calculated risk, is you get to attain and reach more of that potential than you would otherwise. And I think for me, that's the life. You'll get married, have kids, and you'll wish for these vlog days. Yeah, so that's a great point. I think getting married and having kids, those are great things, and those are things that I want and things that I will do. I think that what we've done a lot of the times is said, hey, you know, you'll get married and you'll have kids, and that means that you won't be able to do this. Or once you have kids and once you get married, that means you won't be able to do this. And I don't think that that's the case. I think that while that does happen, I think that that really kind of promotes more this either or, like you have to choose. And I feel like some people do have to choose, but I think that also, just as real as that reality is, there's another reality that's just as real, and that reality is what I like to call the both and reality. Like, you can be married. Like, there's a guy I know who, well, I don't know him, but there's a guy I met once. He's married, he has kids, and he makes his entire income from making videos on YouTube. And so, you know, someone would say, well, you're married and you have kids, so you can't do, you know, you're gonna have to choose. And I think that while that's true for some people, it's not true for everybody. Some people can do both. So I'm still gonna, you know, I'm giving this 100 days or 100 episodes, and I'm gonna go from there, just because I want to stick with it long enough to kind of see what it can become, and just kind of go from there. I really want to give it a good try. But I think that when you get married and when you have kids, if you love what you're doing and you're passionate about what you're doing and you're committed to what you're doing, you'll find a way to do both. Like, for example, if somebody said, hey, we'll give you $1 million if you'll continue to make these videos, you better believe if I'm having kids or getting married or whatever the case might be, I'm still finding a way to make the videos and make the vlogs. So I want to say to everybody right now, like, just because you get married or just because you have kids or whatever the case is, I don't think that has to end what you're pursuing. I don't think that has to be the bookmark or the end mark on what you're doing or what you're trying to pursue. I do think it makes things maybe a little bit different, but it doesn't make it impossible. And that's I think that's the real truth, because there are people out there that are married and have kids and are still doing what they want to do. I think that I know that there are people out there that are doing what they want to do. Like Jay-Z, he's married, he has children, he's about to go on this long tour with Live Nation. And yeah, you say, well, yeah, that's Jay-Z, but he started somewhere, you know, like, he's a real person. Like, yeah, his circumstances and situations are different, but the principle is still the same. Like, yeah, I'm not on that level, but the principle still applies. Like, he still has to prioritize and schedule out his day so that everything has its place. And so and this is, I think, what nuance means, is it's not so much this or that. You have to be this or you have to be that, but it's more both and. And so I think that this is one of those things where the both and really applies just as much as the this or that. So that is what it is. I'm glad that was brought up. Thank you for bringing that up, because I wanted to touch on that. Because I really believe a lot of life is both and, you know, and, you know, some things are this and that, and I agree and I know that, but just as real as that reality is, the both and reality is just as real. And so for me, I try to kind of see the nuance where it exists, because life is better that way, when you can acknowledge nuance, because there's a lot more nuance than we give credit to. There's a lot more both and situations than we give credit to. So that is that. So this comes from what I was writing, like I said, comes from a real desire to reach everything that has been set in front of me, and to reach all of my potential. And I believe that you can do that, whether you have kids or you get married. Like, no matter how your life changes, that doesn't mean that you stop pursuing and stop trying to reach your potential. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. Anyway, this is a shorter broadcast blog. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. But yes, super excited for this week. So tomorrow, I've got a surprise. I got some things that I want to share with you. that I'm really excited to share with you. Just some things that happened this weekend that I kind of want to talk about tomorrow. So, yes, that is that. Okay, well, that is the end for today. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Like I always say, if you have found any kind of value or motivation or encouragement from this broadcast / vlog, I would love it if you would share it, share the broadcast on your wall on Facebook. And if you're watching the vlog on YouTube, feel free to subscribe. There'll be a button that appears somewhere on the screen. I wish it would just appear like that. But anyway, it doesn't. Anyway, there'll be a button that appears. Feel free to subscribe. And then there'll also be another button where you can watch past episodes. We are at episode 7. Episode 8 is tomorrow. Yes, I'm excited. So anyway, I will see you guys in the next broadcast.